Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video, and welcome to episode 8 of Finish the 96. This week we will be taking a look at the next 4 figures from the original Kenner 96 that Hasbro still need to make in the modern vintage collection. As always, if you happen to enjoy this video and the series on a whole, please leave a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, click the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Alright then, with all that being said, if you watched last week's episode, you will know that the last figure we talked about was Princess Leia Organa, so we move straight on to ObiWan Kenobi, or Old Ben. A few months back, I made a video asking Hasbro to inject some fun into the line, and by that I mean make it more collectible in terms of variant card backs. In the Vintage Collection 1.0, we had the foil chase cards and the Revenge of the Jedi cards, so it would be really nice to have something similar this time around. A great way to do this, in my opinion, would be to introduce the alternate image card backs from the vintage Kenner line. ObiWan Kenobi, or Old Ben, was released on 2 card backs. The first being the side profile with the inaccurate yellow lightsaber, which was used on all of the Star Wars and the Empire Strikes Back cards. And then we had the front profile with the blue lightsaber, which was used for the Return of the Jedi card backs. As for the figure, Old Ben has been released in the Vintage Collection in the past. He was included in a special action figure 3-pack along with Han Solo and Luke in his X-Wing pilot outfit. That figure is actually a repack of the 2008 Legacy Collection version and still holds up today. It's a really nice figure and captures Alec Guinness really well. Great facial sculpt on that one, and a few minor updates, and with the added photoreal technology, I think this one could be good enough for the Vintage Collection. In 2004, Hasbro did release a Ben Kenobi on a vintage card. He was included in the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection, and it is this one that most collectors are using to fill the void. However, the figure inside the bubble is so out of date and is in badly need of an update. Moving on to Han Solo, and this is another figure that had 2 card backs in the original Kenner line. We have the classic gunslinger pose, and then the alternate image of Han Solo holding a Stormtrooper blaster as they attempted to escape the Death Star. Currently, the best A New Hope Han Solo that we have is from all the way back in 2004. Again, he was released in the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection on that famous card back. This figure, although much loved by many, is another one badly in need of an update. When you look at how good the new Lando Calrissian is, or the recently revealed Ahsoka Tano, just imagine what Hasbro could do with a brand new sculpt for Han Solo. For me, this is now one of the figures near the very top of my most wanted list, and I can't wait for Hasbro to do it. They could even include a removable Stormtrooper belt so that he represents both scenes on the card backs. Next up, we have the Death Squad Commander, which has been released in the Vintage Collection already, albeit with an updated name of the Imperial Navy Commander, so we move on to FX7. For me, this is the easiest of the lot. FX7 has been released in the Vintage Collection before. Once again, he was one of the figures included in a special action figure 3-pack. To my knowledge, this figure was a straight repack of the version released in the 2001 Power of the Jedi line, and for me, he could easily be repacked again onto a single card. There isn't anything I can think of that would improve this figure. Let's be frank, he just stands there next to the Bacta tank, and that's about it. The figure has articulated arms or tools or whatever you want to call them, and the head swivels. What else do you need from an FX7 droid? The final figure we take a look at today is Hammerhead. Now, this is a figure that I have been championing for a while now, and it is one that I would love to see Hasbro do sooner rather than later. He's such an iconic design and an absolute classic of a Kenner figure. The most recent Hammerhead figure was released in the 2006 Saga Collection line with the name Momar Nadon. Now, although this figure looks quite good and has obviously been sculpted well, he lacks any type of articulation. Now, obviously we're not asking to be able to pose him in as many ways that we would a trooper or a Jedi, but the figure at the very least needs the ability to sit down. After all, that's how we do see him in the film. But with no knee articulation, this is impossible. So for me, this is another figure, very much like Squidhead, that needs an all-new sculpt from the ground up, which is probably why we haven't got him yet. Hasbro seem happy to spend the new tooling budget on new media characters like the Mythrol and Quill, which is great. I'm over the moon with those, but it would be nice if the original trilogy aliens were given the same treatment. Alright then guys, that is it for this episode. Join me next week for the final episode where we look at the last 3 figures and do a bit of a roundup. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support is very much appreciated. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and we shall see you on the next one.